Hello, welcome to my channel.
An old bamboo cutter is cutting bamboo near his home in the country one day when he sees a glowing tree. As he got closer, a tiny girl popped out of a bamboo shoot that grew in front of him. When the woodcutter saw her, she looked strange. He thought she was a god, so he decided to take care of her. When the cutter carefully brings her back to his house, he and his wife are shocked to see the tiny girl change into a baby right in front of them. Over the next few days, or weeks, she grows into a young girl. Some kids in the village near the couple also notice how the girl looks and how fast she is growing. Because she is always getting taller, they call her Little Bamboo. But the man who cut her and his wife call her Princess. The little girl loves the countryside and soon makes friends with the other kids, including Sutmaru, who is the oldest of the group. The cutter keeps getting bamboo, but one day, just like before, he finds a bamboo shoot that is glowing. When he cuts into it, he is surprised to find gold inside. He cuts down another branch, which makes several robes come out. The woodcutter takes them and tells his wife that he thinks they are signs from above telling them how to raise the princess right. Over the course of several years, the cutter takes the gold to the capital. One day, he and his wife tell their daughter that she must come with them and leave their home. The princess is put in a covered carriage for the trip, and when she wakes up, she is in a grand palace in the capital, where her parents say she will be raised as a princess. Even though she is happy and excited about the new place and her things at first, she is soon told to act like a princess. The princess treats her lessons with Lady Sagami almost like a joke, but when her parents ask about them, she seems to do what they ask without showing any signs of breaking the rules. Eventually, the woodcutter's wife tells him that the princess has come of age. He is so happy that he calls a royal priest to give her a proper name. The girl's father is upset when the priest's first impression of her is of her crawling around and playing with a cat, but the priest says that seeing the girl without her clothes has helped him come up with a good name for her. The priest calls her Princess Kaguya because of her attitude and sense of fun. Her father then throws a party to honor her new name, but Kaguya gets bored because she can't be seen, even though the party is for her. Her father also says no to her idea that she might invite some of the kids from her old village. The party goes on for 3 days while Kaguya stays in her room. As some people at the party keep drinking late into the night, she gets a desperate look on her face when she hears that she and her parents are not nobles. She runs back to the small mountain area where she grew up, throwing off her expensive robes as she does so. But the hut she grew up in is now occupied by another family, and the wooded area is gone. She finds a man closing up a shack and telling her that the people who used to live there have moved away and will return in 10 years. People think that 10 years should be enough time for the mountainside forest to grow back after the trees were cut down. Kaguya then makes her way back to the capital, but she passes out in the snow. Only to wake up back in her room, not sure if what she had just done was real or a dream. After her party, a lot of people ask the princess to marry them, but she doesn't do the same for any of them. In the end, the royal priest who gave her name is talking to a group of noblemen. Even though they make fun of her heritage, which seems to be from the country, when the priest talks about her beauty and charm, 5 of the noblemen rush to her palace, eager to marry her. Kaguya is also ready to turn them down, but her father and Lady Sagami persuade her to give each of them a chance. Kaguya gives each man a chance to talk to her, who sits behind a blind, hidden from view. One by one, they talk about how beautiful she is without seeing her. There is the Buddha's stone bowl, a jeweled branch from the island of Horai, a robe made of fire rat fur, a jewel from the dragon's neck, and the swallow's cowrie shell. Kaguya listens to all of this and decides that her suitors should bring her these things if they are as beautiful as she is. Each of them doesn't like it, but the princess says that's how she'll decide. All of the suitors leave, and so does Lady Sagami, who thinks that the princess's actions have made it impossible for her to find a good husband in high society. The princess wants to see the cherry blossoms bloom when spring comes. Her mother and one of her servants take her back to the country, where a tree is blooming near the hut where she used to live. She spins happily among its petals, enjoying how full of life it is, until she bumps into a small child by accident. The child's family quickly takes it away, bowing in front of the princess to remind her of who she is now. On their way back to the capital, the group's cart gets stuck, and they hear a commotion outside. Kaguya sees a few men running through the streets. When she sees Sutmaru, she knows it's him. She can't help but cry out to him, but when she realizes who she is, she quickly runs back into the carriage as it drives away. Sutmaru tries to go after her, but Kaguya beats him for it while she cries. After the suitors and the country people leave, Kaguya hides in a small garden that her mother takes care of. Kaguya asks for a piece for herself, and here in the forest, she seems to find peace. After a few years, the family gets shocking news. The second suitor says he has come back from Horai with a jeweled branch. Still hidden, Kaguya asks the suitor how he got the branch. He makes up a story, but soon a group of craftsmen come to collect money for making the branch. Soon after, the fourth suitor shows up and says he has a robe made of fire rat fur. The fire fur rats won't catch fire, so Kaguya asks him to burn it. The suitor puts the rope nervously over a flame, and just as he thought, it falls apart. The first suitor then comes and says that he didn't find Buddha's bowl, but he did find a beautiful flower that he thinks will remind the princess of him. But when the prince pulls back the curtain, the princess has a servant put her in her place. The woman says that the prince is still a careless person. The princess tries not to think about the suitors until she hears about the other two. One has gone to sea to find the jewel in the dragon's neck, and the other fell and died while trying to get the cowrie shell from a swallow. When the girl realizes that someone died because of her, she feels so bad that she tears up the garden she has worked so hard to grow and spends hours weaving in the small hut nearby. At some point, word gets out that the emperor himself has heard how beautiful the girl is and wants to give her father a royal title if she marries him. Kaguya's father tells her the news with joy, but she tells him to say no. Her father says that you don't do that, but Kaguya says that she will kill herself if her father says yes. Soon after hearing that, the emperor became even more interested and went to the family's palace himself. He talks to the princess at first just like the other suitors did, but soon he sneaks into the room where she is and hugs her. This makes her leave his arms all of a sudden. The emperor says he didn't mean any harm and that he'll leave if the princess shows up. Kaguya does show up, but when he moves towards her, she moves away. The emperor leaves, telling her that he will think of her. After this, Kaguya tells her parents a secret. She is really an alien from the moon who came to Earth a long time ago. She had heard many times before that other people had also come to Earth. One of them sang a song that she didn't understand, but now that she has spent time on Earth, she can understand it better. Kaguya also says that when the emperor tried to get close to her, she told him she wanted to go back to the moon. This is a wish that can't be broken. So, on the 15th night, there will be a parade for her. Then, Kaguya's father gathers a small army and gets the palace ready to defend itself against anything the moon sends. In the meantime, Kaguya, her mother, and one of her servants have gone back to the countryside. Once again, the greenery brings Kaguya comfort, but she is surprised to see Sitmaru there. He has come back to rebuild their village now that nature has come back. Sitmaru says he is surprised to see Kaguya there because she is now a princess. Even so, Kaguya says that the title doesn't matter and that, in reality, she would have been happier living in the country with Sitmaru. This makes Sitmaru say that he would be ready to run away with her and start over. Taking each other's hands, they run through the fields and then take off, flying over the places where they lived as kids. But as night falls and the full moon gets closer, Kaguya asks Sitmaru to hold her tight. But she slips out of his grasp and falls into the water below. When Sitmaru wakes up, he doesn't know if what he saw was real or a dream. Then, when his wife and child call him, he goes back to the other people. While this was going on, Kaguya went back to the palace, where her father and a group of soldiers were waiting. On the 15th, a parade comes down from the moon playing a peaceful song of celebration. A lot of archers shoot at them, and the arrows turn into flowers. The procession flies over the palace walls, where its music puts almost everyone to sleep except for Kaguya's parents. As her mother watches in horror, Kaguya suddenly stands up and is drawn towards the procession. Both of the girl's parents run to her and beg the procession not to take her back, but a member of the procession starts to put a crown and robes on her. When the crown and robes are fully on her, they will erase all memories of her time on Earth. But just as the robe is about to be put on, one of Kaguya's maids comes out singing a song with a small group of children. This brings Kaguya out of her trance, and she cries as she hugs her parents and says that even though the world is hard, there is still good and wonder in it. But her protests don't matter, because when the robe is put on her, her eyes go blank. The princess is then led into the procession, with her back to her parents, and the procession heads back to the moon. People can be seen all over the country looking up. Everyone, including Sitmaru, the suitors, and even the emperor, seems to be mesmerized by its light. Then, we see Kaguya moving towards the moon. Before she gets there, though, she takes one last look at Earth before the procession disappears into the moonlight. So, what did you think of this movie? Tell us in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you in the next video.